In today's video, I want to talk about everything that Ford got right on this 23 450. So jumping right into it, I want to pop into the interior and what did they get really right? Number one, I really enjoy the phone charger this year, the wireless charger. Every time I've had one of these wireless chargers, I wasn't thrilled, but this one drops right in, works good, fast enough. It's not a rapid charger, but it's quick enough to give me some juice on a 15-minute drive. I'll gain a couple percent, and I think I'm gonna just use it. You know, it's not any trickery to get it in. Just drop it into the spot there, and it charges it up. We'll go ahead and put this on a charger in the short time. We're at 16% now, and we'll see kind of how it brings the voltage up. Number two thing that I kind of do enjoy, it is the Pro Power on board. It's been working okay. Turn on generator mode, it works. You've got your outlet in the bed, outlet in the infotainment or IP instrument panel, whatever you want to call it, and your outlet here in the back. And wouldn't you know it, we are charging up a Milwaukee battery, no problems. But one thing with the Pro Power I'm not quite sure about just yet is the fact that they've dedicated an alternator to the Pro Power system. And being that it's dedicated alternator, that means that you don't get the full package of alternator of 12 volt availability. You don't get the 400 amp system with this. You've only got one alternator, and the other alternator is dedicated to just those outlets. So that's something to think about. If you're buying one of these trucks and you're thinking, hey, I'm going to run the Pro Power and then I'm going to run a million other 12 volt items, it's probably still going to be okay. I think you get 250 amps. But again, Ford's not really clear about what they're doing with the Pro Power on the Super Duties. I wish they would tell us, hey, once you get this Pro Power, you're going to lose your dual alternator. And they tell us how much amperage is going to be available on the 12 volt side. And the second alternator is actually 24 volts. And that allows for some thinner wiring and stuff to run to the rear. So maybe at the end of the day, it was just cheaper for them to manufacture it that way, because copper is quite expensive. In order to get a 2 kilowatt system running through copper wires, it's probably going to cost more in copper to manufacture the system. Whereas they give you this giant inverter and they give you two batteries over there. I'm curious how the 150s that don't have power boost, how they achieve their Pro Power, because I do not believe they can have a dual alternator on a 150. I'm not sure. Maybe they do have dual alternators on 150s. But I'd be very curious to find out if they just run it on a 12 volt system. Why didn't Ford just run a 2000 watt inverter straight up on a 12 volt system, preserve the 400 amp available alternator, and just run it that way and call it good? I don't know. We'll see if this is it. We'll see when I start running a ton of 12 volt on here. I'm going to run a big plow. I'm going to run a big salter. I'm going to run all this crazy stuff on here. We'll see if it's an issue. Another thing that I like is the camera package that you have now with the truck. As you can see, the forward-facing camera, the 360, clear, looks good. I think we've got GM beat, definitely got Ram beat, and you can go ahead and see all these different angles. You can see your hitch. The tailgate's down right now. You got your auxiliary camera. You can see down the sides of the truck. The door's open, so it looks a little funny. And you can see, I believe, in the bed. This resolution in the bed's not the best, but it does work. And overall, I've been pretty happy with the camera package so far. While we are in here, the center console has been pretty nice. It's tweaked a little. It's still got the sliding apparatus that allows you to hold more cups. A little bit bigger opening here, I guess, for the big gulps. And yeah, no issues out of this. They've rotated this a little bit But overall, they've definitely made the interior feel a bit larger. I know the 22s have the bigger screen and it just kind of looks like they shoved that big screen in the 22s, but it fits nicer on the 23s, I think. But maybe there's a little bit of less visibility. When you're getting in the 150s, the 150s kind of nailed it. And this is the IP here is a little different from the 150. Even though it's the same screen, this cutout's more cut out right here. This curve kind of goes this way, and the 150s where it's just straight across in the Super Duties. You still have your top tray up here, and I've, on so many Super Duties that I've had, mounted my phone like right up in here. I don't think I'm going to do that this time around. I think the wireless charger is going to be just fine. And since we started filming and talking, we are at 20% and we were at 16% when we put it on there. The side steps are good. I use them. Are they better than not having them? Well, you get up on them, you stand on them, and you're just up higher. And next thing you know, you're up in the bed. So they're good. I mean, it kind of is what it is. They are very nice. Unlike what you have going on back there, freaking overgrown. Bumper step as well with a spot for your hand right there. Place to put your foot. I guess it works. I don't know if I'm one of the few who actually like the side vent. I feel like the chrome works well with the silver paint. And these vents, they are wide open. You can reach your hand through here and you can actually see your finger on the other side of these vents. All this ventilation is legit releasing heat from the motor. So the front end, I think, looks fine. Does it look as good as the outgoing model? No, but I think it would if you had a limited. I think right now, if you were to order one of these trucks, you'd have to get a limited in order to get the actual HID lights. These are just LED reflector lights. And I think that's what kind of makes it look just a little bit cheaper than the outgoing model. The emission system this year is different. I don't know how I feel about it just yet, but I can tell you that it performs well for the guys that were having, DPF problems and issues with the regening and all that. The thing performs better in that department. The regens, any type of diesel smell, I don't smell it. I think it's a better filter and it's probably better for the environment, I would imagine. But what I don't like about this is there's more components here and it's noticeably quieter than my 20 that I had. I like the sound of the diesel. This thing really muffles it out. So I don't know if there's something I can do back there to maybe take this resonator or something out of there. Not anything emissions related, but just the tailpipe. I don't know. Guess we'll have to find out. The high output is nice. I'm not really noticing too much of a difference from the outgoing 6.7 Power Stroke. I had a 20 F450 with that engine, the 6.7 non-high output, and they kind of seem very similar. I don't know if the new emissions is causing any restriction or not, but it's probably just because it's a 450 and the gearing is just not a speed type of gearing. So I haven't done any towing with the truck yet, so maybe I'll notice it once towing. Overall, guys, the truck has been working good. There's not really too much more to say. Runs pretty decent. Wish it had a little more sound. They definitely muffled the exhaust a little. That's probably the biggest con. Looks like the engine right now is kicking up into high idle. Let's listen to how it sounds. High idle. Sounds kind of nasty. Okay. But overall, guys, I've really been pretty much enjoying the truck. One thing I did forget to mention is I opted for no pro trailer because it added some money, and I just never used that knob. It would have been right here. And what happened is when they built this truck, the power steering so much heavier. Honestly, it's not bad now. I'm just not used to it being that heavy. I'm used to it being like really light, and this truck is omitting the electronic assist. This thing is just power steering, gearbox, and the hydraulic assist. It doesn't have the electric motor, so this truck can't steer for you. It can't nudge you in and out of lanes or anything like that. It just doesn't have any lane keeping at all. So kind of interesting. My XL 250 does have the electric motor, and it's easier to turn. So it's not a big deal, but I'm wondering how it's going to be when I'm really working the truck for long hours. But all in all, guys, I'm enjoying the truck. Let's check in. I'm going to sign off here in a second, but let's see, since filming, where the charge is at. We started off at 16%, and it's now at 22%. So it does work. Wireless charger for the win. But anyway, guys, my name is Sean. This is DS Trucks. See you in the next video. Over and out.